The United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense latest intelligence update on Ukraine, September 5, 2023. Russian authorities in the Russian-occupied regions of Ukraine are holding staged elections on September 8 to 10, 2023, coinciding with Russia's nationwide elections. These sham referendums violate international law and Ukrainian sovereignty. While over 1,000 candidates have registered, reports indicate a shortage of qualified, willing participants. The Kremlin has handpicked candidates, lacking independence from Moscow. Opposition voices are glaringly absent, rendering free and fair elections impossible. Furthermore, the Ukrainian Center of National Resistance alleges the occupation administration's inflated voter rolls. The Kremlin aims to legitimize its occupation by manipulating turnout and results. Polls forecast United Russia, President Putin's party, will claim over 80% of votes in the 4 occupied regions. By orchestrating a united Russia majority, the Kremlin seeks to tighten its grip over the illegally seized territories. However, these falsified elections stand no chance of receiving international recognition. They represent desperate attempts by the Kremlin to portray normalcy amid its stagnating war of aggression in Ukraine. Ultimately, Russia's sham referendums will fail to legitimize the occupation or sway global opinion. General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine update as of 6 p.m. September 5, 2023. This is day 559 of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. On September 5, Russia conducted 32 airstrikes and 39 multiple-launch rocket system attacks against Ukrainian positions and civilian areas. Russian attacks killed and wounded civilians, damaged residential buildings and infrastructure. There were over 20 military engagements on September 5. Key updates from axes of advance, Siversk and Sloboshansk axes. Russia struck Sidorivka, Sumy, and Yudi, Veterannon, Kharkiv. Over 15 settlements suffered Russian mortars and artillery, including in Chernihiv, Sumy, and Kharkiv regions. Kupiansk axis. Russia shelled Kucherivka, Kislivka, and other Kharkiv settlements with artillery and mortars. Lyman axis. Russia unsuccessfully attacked Novojehorivka, Luhansk. Airstrikes near Bilohorivka, Luhansk, Torsky, Siversk and Spern, Donetsk. Intense Russian shelling across the axis. Bakhmut axis. Ukraine repelled Russian attacks north of Klishchivka, Donetsk. Over 10 settlements shelled, including in Donetsk region. Avdiivka axis. Russia shelled Oleksandrpol, Karamek, Avdiivka and other Donetsk settlements. Marinka axis. Ukraine continues holding back Russia near Marinka. Airstrike near Krasnohorivka. Shelling across the axis. Shakhtarsk axis. Russian airstrikes near Vuhledar, Staromayorsky. Over 10 settlements shelled, including in Donetsk. Zaporizhzhia axis. Airstrikes near Mala Tokmachka, Orikhiv, Zaporizhzhia. Widespread Russian shelling across axis. Kherson axis. Airstrike near Mikhailivka. Intense shelling across axis, including in Kherson region. Ukraine continues counteroffensive operations near Melitopol, consolidating gains. On September 5, Ukraine's Air Force conducted 11 airstrikes against Russian troops and equipment, plus 2 strikes against air defense systems. Ukraine's artillery and missiles struck Russian forces in various locations. The Institute for the Study of War Russian Offensive Campaign Assessment. Geolocated footage on September 5 shows Russian forces striking Ukrainian positions northwest and west of Robotyne. This indicates Ukraine has advanced into areas near Robotyne previously claimed by Russia. Additional footage shows Ukraine also gained ground south of Robotyne and northwest of Verbove, about 10 kilometers east. This suggests Ukraine is pushing along Russian defensive lines towards Verbove. Ukrainian military sources confirmed successful offensives near Robotyne Novoprokopivka, south of Orikhiv. They also report Ukraine is pursuing offensive operations south of Bakhmut. In summary, through recent rapid counteroffensives, Ukraine has liberated settlements and disrupted Russian lines in western Zaporizhzhia. This demonstrates Ukraine's capability to leverage precision strikes and concentrated force to dislodge Russian occupation. Sustained Ukrainian momentum here could unravel Russia's grip on the oblast. As in Kharkiv, Ukraine likely aims to force a Russian withdrawal across the Dnipro River, which would severely undermine Russia's military position and occupation authority in southern Ukraine. The Institute for the Study of War key takeaways today. Russia lacks artillery and munitions to counter Ukraine's offensives, despite Kremlin efforts. Ukraine's Donbas operations are pinning Russian forces, preventing their redeployment to Zaporizhzhia. Shoigu dismissed Ukraine's gains, while Putin drew World War II parallels to set long war expectations. Armenia increasingly questions its Russia ties, amid aid to Ukraine and dissatisfaction with security guarantees. Russia made marginal gains along several axes like Kupiansk-Svatov-Kreminna line. Ukraine advanced near Bakhmut, Donbas border with Zaporizhzhia, and within Zaporizhzhia itself. Russia continues struggling to recruit volunteers despite mobilization rumors. The SBU allegedly attempted to assassinate a Russian occupation official in Luhansk. In summary, Ukraine maintains momentum across multiple fronts, as Russia fails to halt their advances due to insufficient forces, weaponry, and morale. Despite Putin's defiant messaging, Russia is losing its grip militarily and politically in occupied areas. Ukraine appears poised to continue pressing advantages before winter slows operations.